Chapter 5 of The Diary of a Goose Girl by Kate Douglas Wiggin. July 10th. At 10:30 or so in the morning, the cackling begins. I wonder exactly what it means. Have the forest lovers, who listen so respectfully to, and interpret so exquisitely, the notes of birds, have none of them made psychological investigations of the hen cackle? Can it be simple elation? One could believe that of the first few eggs, but a hen who has laid 200 or 300 can hardly feel the same exuberant pride and joy daily. Can it be the excitement incident to successful achievement? Hardly, because the task is so extremely simple. Eggs are more or less alike, a little larger or smaller, a trifle whiter or browner, and almost sure to be quite right as to details. That is, the big end never gets confused with the little end, and they are always ovoid and never spherical, and the yolk is always inside of the white. As for a soft-shelled egg, it is so rare an occurrence that the fear of laying one could not set the whole race of hens in a panic, so there really cannot be any intellectual or emotional agitation in producing a thing that might be made by a machine. Can it be simply fussiness, since the people who have the least to do commonly make the most flutter about doing it? Perhaps it is merely conversation. Cut, 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 cut. I have finished my strictly fresh egg. Have you laid yours? Make haste, then, for the cock has found a gap in the wire fence, and wants us to wander in the strawberry bed. Cut, 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 cut. Every moment is precious, for the goose girl will find us, when she gathers the strawberries for her luncheon. Cut, 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 cut. On the way out we can find sweet places to steal nests. Cut, cut, cut. I am so glad I am not sitting this heavenly morning. It is a dull life. A Lancashire poultryman drifted into Barbury Green yesterday. He is an old acquaintance of Mr. Heaven, and spent the night and part of the next day at Thornycroft Farm. He possessed a deal of fowl philosophy, and tells many a good hen story, which, like fish stories, draw rather largely on the credulity of the audience. We were sitting in the rickyard talking comfortably about laying and cackling and kindred matters, when he took his pipe from his mouth, and told us the following tale. Not a bad one if you can translate the dialect. All were once told as, if you could only get the hen's egg away afore she had sin it, the hen would think it had made a mistake, and sit down again and lay another. And it seemed to me it were a very sensible way of looking at it. So I set to work to make a nest, and to take a rise out o' the hens, and I did it too. I made a nest with a false bottom, the idea being as when a hen had laid the egg, who'd drop through into a box underneath. I felt very proud of that nest too, I can tell you, and I remember I felt quite excited when I see on our black Minorca, the best layer as I had, go and settle herself down on the nest and get ready for work. The hen seemed quite comfortable enough. All were glad to see, and get through the operation beat only seem in trouble. Well, I dare say, you know, here a hen carries on as soon as it's laid an egg. It starts chucking away like a showman's racket, and after taking a good look at the egg to see whether it's a big one or a little one, goes out and tells all the other hens about it. Now, this black Minorca, as I said, were a owlish bird, and maybe knew more than I thought. Happen it had laid on a nest with a false bottom afore, and were up to the trick, but whether or not, I'll never see a hen look more disgusted i' my life when it looked i' the nest, and see as it had had all that trouble for naught. It walked round the nest as if it couldn't believe its own eyes. But it didn't do as I expected. I expected as it 'ud sit down again and lay another, but it just give it one wondering sort of chucking, and then, after a long stare round the hen cote, it walked out as mad as a hen as I'd ever seen. I found out after what the long stare meant. It was taking farewell. For if you'll believe me, that hen never laid another egg I ony of my nests. Very like it laid away in a spot where it could have summat to look at when it had done work for the day. So I lost my best there through my acting, and I've never invented aught sin. End of chapter 5.